Good afternoon. We're here from Alfonso Lacruz Team, Keller Williams, at our penthouse in Los Granados in Puerto Banús. We had a very successful open house today. We want to talk about you with the difference between asking prices and closing prices on the market. Alfonso, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Well, it's something I wrote about in my last newsletter. I haven't really published it, but I wrote already about it because I've seen strange things lately, and the market is slowing down, and everybody seems to agree on that. So I've been investigating really causes for that, and something I saw when I wrote my last newsletter. That was the one of October, and I was talking about the price, and I was checking really what was the difference. So I've been doing some crunching some numbers, and in fact it surprised me because say when you check the numbers and you check the asking price and you check the closing price, what I'm writing on that newsletter, that if anyone is interested, I recommend them go to my webpage, that is alfonsolacruz.com. You will see it, and that difference between asking and closing, it depends on the different municipalities, but in Benahavis has already reached 36%, Marbella is 31%, Estepona is 28%. The lowest gap is in Mijas, which we are talking about below 20%, but Benahavis is huge, 36% between asking price and closing price. And what do you think? Do you think that can be a cost to, why the buyers are not really buying? This gap between asking and closing, do you think that can be a cost for the market to really slow down? That is what we are seeing.
Well, in my opinion, we're chasing away potential buyers to other areas in Spain because they can get much more for the same money than over here. So it definitely will affect the market, and I think the price adjustment the gap should be a little bit smaller than 36% because this is really, really high. But what do you think, what causes this difference?
I think really, we had I can call it a post-pandemic boom here. Historical record in the area for transactions was 2022, and we were selling like crazy at that time. And since 22, where we got the historical maximum of transactions of the whole area, that includes Benahavís, Marbella, and everything, and even Mijas and Estepona, the market is really started to go down, has been going down in the last 3 years, and now still with the same idea that the market is booming, sellers are not being reasonable. They think, or people think still, that we are on a really top sellers market, and it's not the case anymore. So asking prices are going too high. Prices are already not reasonable. Sellers are asking too much for properties, and sellers asking prices are going up, but really closing prices are going up, but not on the same level. So the gap every day has been going up and up and up, and 2 years ago was already a high one, but now it's crazy. But it's because of the expectations of the sellers. They're expecting too much for properties. You can see in pages like portals like Idealista that sellers refer to that as a comparable. Say, if that people is selling for this price, I can ask the same price. But the problem is that all these properties that are overpriced are not really selling, and that is, the buyers are seeing already that. So the buyers are not reaching those levels, those properties are not selling, but they still are a reference for these sellers. And really, Idealista is not a reference because it's really asking price, it's not the real closing price. So sellers should be aware that things doesn't sell at whatever price, that already properties in Idealista are overpriced. So really don't trust what you see in Idealista. You have to really take the advice of a professional agent and really study your property, but more based on real selling prices that really what you can see on Idealista. But I don't know if that seems to be the case. We are talking to many sellers, and still the expectations are too high.
You think we need to educate sellers?
That's really the case. The sellers should be fully informed of really what are the real closing prices, because the market is slowing down. There are properties that are too overpriced, and for next year it can be really a complicated year if sellers don't really adjust prices to the real closing prices. Then they should reduce expectations because the market is not that well, and maybe, I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but maybe this year will slow down, but not because the market is really going down. I think the demand is there. People keeps on wanting to buy properties in the coastal zone. I don't think that is really the problem. It's because the buyers are seeing that the prices are going up too much, and they are in a way, and that if you add to that the kind of, how can I call it, geopolitical situation kind of is slowing down the decision to buy, and if you add that all the whole situation about the markets and the problems that we are facing in Europe and the whole world with these kind of too high prices, I think that is what is slowing down the market. But from our experience, when we have properties on market price, they are selling. So in fact, they are selling fast. The problem is when you really overprice properties. So if you really want to sell, if you fix a reasonable market price, properties will sell. Or, I mean, what is your experience? I mean, you've been selling recently on those things.
You're completely right. We're selling at prices, at market prices, and we're selling quickly. I think this year we sold 90% of our listed properties within 3 months, so
Yeah.
that's really good. Overpriced properties we also see don't sell until we convince the owner that he needs to come down a little bit, and
Yeah.
then he starts getting viewings, he starts getting offers, and then it sells.
Yeah.
So you're completely
Anyway, we've talked a little bit about this, but I mean, if you want to more info and the numbers about these gaps between asking and closing prices, I have wrote a newsletter that you can find on my web, again, alfonsolacruz.com, and where you can find more information about the market and how things are going. Thank you for attending, and we'll see you next week or next month talking about more news on the market. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Bye.
Bye.